Ever feel like you're fighting with your laser instead of, just working with it? Yeah, you are not alone. But the secret to getting those flawless cuts and keeping your machine at peak performance, it isn't buying a bigger laser, it's having a smarter maintenance routine. So today we're going to build that routine, step by step.
You know that sinking feeling, right? When a beautiful design comes out of the laser and the edges are all jagged, or worse, it just doesn't cut all the way through. It's not just frustrating, it's a huge waste of time and material. And the surprising thing is, the culprit is almost never some massive breakdown. It's usually a simple maintenance issue that could have been totally prevented.
This quote really says it all. Neglecting maintenance may save a few minutes now, but it can cost you hours or even days of lost productivity later. This is really the core of what we're talking about today. This isn't just about being a neat freak. It's about protecting your investment, maximizing your uptime, and making sure that every single cut is a quality cut.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the why, really understanding the true cost of neglect. Then we're going to dive right into the what and the how, with daily and weekly checklists. We'll also spend some quality time on optics, because they are the make-or-break component of your laser. And finally, we'll zoom out to cover long-term care and some pro habits that'll make all of this feel like second nature.
Okay, first things first, let's be really clear about something. This isn't about just keeping your workshop tidy. It's about keeping your business running. A solid maintenance schedule is, well, it's the lifeblood of your laser. It directly impacts its performance, its safety, and its lifespan.
So, what happens when we let things slide? Well, it's kind of like a domino effect. It starts small, with weaker cuts and a loss of accuracy. But it escalates, and fast. We're talking about unexpected machine downtime, which means lost income. We're talking about a growing pile of scrap material, which is a direct hit to your bottom line. And yeah, we are absolutely talking about a very real fire hazard.
All right, time to roll up our sleeves. First up is the daily checklist. I want you to think of this like brushing your teeth. It's a quick, simple habit you do at the start and end of every day to stop bigger problems from ever happening.
This 5-step check is your new daily ritual, and I promise, it only takes a few minutes. First, just a quick glance at the optics and nozzle. See any gunk on there? A clogged nozzle is a total precision killer. Next, a quick systems check. Is your chiller happy? You want to see it between about 18 and 24 degrees Celsius. Air assist and exhaust on? Good. Third, gas levels. You do not want to run out of gas mid-cut, trust me. Fourth, a quick wipe down. A clean workspace means clean cuts. And finally, and this one is huge, empty that slag tray. It's not just a trash can. A full tray can block airflow and becomes a serious fire hazard.
Okay, now for the weekly checkup. This is where we go just a little bit deeper and where we really start to future-proof our laser against those really expensive breakdowns.
So, once a week, it's time for a little spa day for your laser. First, let's talk about breathing. Your chiller and power supply, they need to breathe to stay cool, so give their air intake filters a quick vacuum. Same goes for your fume extraction fan and your air assist filter. Next, let's talk movement. Check out those guide rails. You see that grimy gunk? We call that sludge, and it is your enemy. Wipe it clean. And finally, let's talk safety. That e-stop button and those lid sensors are your guardian angels. Just give them a quick test to make sure they're still on the job.
Okay, listen up. If you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Your laser's optics are everything. They are the eyes of your machine, and if they're not perfect, nothing else matters. I'm serious. 9 times out of 10, when you're losing power, the problem is right here.
Just take a look at this. This little assembly is the heart of your laser's cutting power. You've got the nozzle, the lens itself, and the ring nut that holds it all together. It might look a little intimidating right now, but I promise you, by the end of this section, you'll be able to take this apart and put it back together like a pro.
All right, let's do this together. Step 1, disconnect the air hose and remove the housing. Easy enough. Step 2, unscrew the nozzle, and then use your lens tool to loosen the ring nut. And I really mean loosen. Don't take it all the way off. And be gentle. You do not want to scratch that lens. Step 3. Now for the magic trick. Gently push the lens out from the back with something soft, like a pencil eraser. No fingers. The oils on your skin are like kryptonite to a laser lens. Step 4. Time to clean. Use a proper lens wipe and a little bit of cleaning solution and just gently swirl. Step 5. And this is the most important part of all. When you put that lens back in, the curved side goes up. I'm going to repeat that. Curved side up, facing the laser beam. Then put the O-ring back, then the ring nut. You want it snug, but not crazy tight.
And here's why that matters so much. Look at this. On the left, you've got a clean lens. The laser beam is focused, it's powerful, it's precise. On the right, a dirty lens. The beam is scattered, weak, just chaotic. A dirty lens doesn't just give you bad cuts, it can literally cook itself, leading to a cracked lens and a very, very expensive repair bill. Now, the lens is definitely the star of the show, but it has a supporting cast. There are 3 mirrors that guide the laser beam on its little journey from the tube to your material. Think of them like relay runners in a race. If any one of them drops the baton, the race is over. A quick wipe down once a month or so will keep them all in top form.
Okay, so we've covered the daily and weekly sprints. Now it's time to talk about the marathon. This is the long-term care that's going to keep your laser running smoothly for years and years to come.
Think of this as your laser's annual physical. Every month, you'll want to give the motion system a good lube job and check all the hoses and belts for any signs of wear. Every 3 to 6 months, it's time for a water change in the chiller. You really don't want a science experiment growing in there. And once a year, just call in the pros. A good technician can spot problems you would never see, and that can save you a world of headaches down the road.
And when we talk about lubrication, don't just wipe it on the rails, you need to inject it. A grease gun is your absolute best friend here. You want to get that lubricant right into the heart of the bearing blocks on the X and Y axis. That's how you guarantee that smooth, precise motion every single time.
So we've covered the nuts and bolts. Now let's talk about the mindset. These are the pro habits that will take your maintenance game from just good to great.
Welcome to your Pro Habits dashboard. First up, keep a logbook. Document everything. It's basically your laser's medical history. Next, train your team. Everyone who touches that machine should know these basics. Then, control your environment. A dehumidifier is a small investment that can save you a fortune in rust prevention. And speaking of investments, stock up on consumables. A spare lens can turn a 2-day disaster into a 10-minute fix. And finally, the calendar. Don't just try to remember to do this stuff. Schedule it. Make it an appointment you can't miss.
So, what's it going to be? A 2-minute lens wipe? A 5-minute slag tray dump? Whatever it is, do it now. Because the journey to a perfectly maintained laser starts with a single step. And believe me, that step will pay for itself 1,000 times over.